This is almost like a lot of people within the industry, a lot of people that have worked within this industry, be it Afrobeats, music in general, that are in here. Some people know a lot about you.
Yeah.
Others might not know enough.
Yes.
So I just thought, let's have this conversation. Let's get into a little bit of it. One of the most boring questions that anybody would ask, and most artists hate to answer, will be the simple one. Tiwa Savage. Who is Tiwa Savage?
Oh my God. I think you're going to have to ask my mom that question. Wow. Yeah. I honestly, I never know how to answer this because it's like, I think I'm a very calm, reserved person off stage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to sound as humble as possible. I think I work really hard as well. I usually don't like to take no for an answer. The best way to describe myself, I think, is like, you know, how do I want to be remembered? And I want to be remembered as that African woman that just broke so many boundaries.
Wow.
And didn't take no for an answer. And left behind a legacy that other females, other African women can do and achieve that which God has called them to do.
Wow. Well, a round of applause for that. Most people come into this world and live in this world without finding their purpose. And some people are extremely lucky to have found that. Music has been your calling, and we've seen that for about a decade plus. Let's talk about the music journey in itself. Especially those of us in the UK, we know we have an inkling of Tiwa Savage starting that music journey here. But for you as a person, how did that start?
Well, music really started for me like when I was in Nigeria. I joined the choir. You know, I used to do like Christmas shows and plays and stuff, and I used to always sing along to like Shina Peters and KSA and Fela when I was young. But I didn't really discover my talent till I moved to the UK. I was going to school, secondary school, and I had a huge, oh my God, my brother and my mom are right here. But apart from studying maths and science, I had a huge crush on this boy. And he used to do like this after school music, activity. So I went to my teacher and I was like, yo, I want to do music as well, because I just kind of wanted to be closer to him.
Wow.
And
he had that type of power?
Yeah, but if you see him now, God delivered me from a train wreck. But back then he was hot. So I wanted to...
Savage!
So I wanted to be in the choir, and then the choir was kind of full, so my teacher was like, the only instrument they have left is a trombone, which was like twice my size. And I used to get bullied for trying to carry it on the bus every time.
Wow.
So then I went back to my teacher and I was like, look, I really want to sing. And he was just like, okay, there's auditions next semester, next term. So I went back and he was like, wow, you actually have a really sweet, pretty tone. And that's where, it all started. For me to discover music in the UK. Then I met a couple of musicians and I went for auditions. And, at 16, I got my first gig as a backup singer for George Michael. So rest in peace. Yeah.
That deserves a round of applause.
Yeah. And it was in Wembley Stadium. I remember my brother dropping me off. And when I was there singing, something touched me, because I just saw how people were singing along to his music. Thousands of people, hundreds and thousands of people, and just how powerful music was, a tool. And from that day, I went back. I said to my family, I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to be a musician. And my dad was like, no, you're not. You're going to go to school. You're going to either be a doctor, an accountant, or a lawyer. And I really did go to university.
Yep.
And I studied business and accounts. And but I'm grateful for it, because now I feel like I can look at contracts. I can speak in meetings and I know what I'm talking about. So I don't actually regret taking the time out to study and have something to fall back on.
So you're not one of those artists that has a financial manager kind of stuff.
I mean, I do. She's actually here as well. But I'm very shrewd when it comes to money. Like
you mentioned being a backup singer for George Michael. I saw. That's one of the first things that I saw actually researching about Tiwa years ago, was the fact that not only did you work with the likes of George Michael, Mary J. Blige, you'd lent your vocals on Whitney Houston's album. So you've kind of been in the background for some time with regards to this music. One of the biggest journeys for musicians is actually coming from behind to being a lead singer. What was that thought process like for you?
It was a blessing because you get to see that you can be really, really hot and celebrate it today, and tomorrow it could be completely gone. And so for me, it was really important. I think, I'm just thankful that I was able to see that. So I don't take anything for granted, like in my career. I just put in so much work, and it never gets to my head when people say, Tiwa Savage is the Beyonce of Africa. Tiwa Savage is one of the biggest female artists. Like, to me, every single time I see myself as an upcoming artist, because I just refuse to let it get to my head. Wow. Because I know that it literally could be gone tomorrow. You could release a song today that's huge, and you could do something stupid, and the whole world will just it feels like the industry cancels you out. Wow. It could be that quick. So I try as much as possible not to let it get to my head, because I want to have a career in this. It's not about me being the flavor of the month or hot.
For some of us that were huge fans of yours from the beginning, was your return back to Nigeria.
Oh my God.
For music. Talk to me about that story.
Oh, is anybody planning to move back? That was the hardest thing to do. Moving to the UK was hard. Being bullied was hard. Moving to the US was hard. But for some reason, moving back to Nigeria was the hardest thing. Because I'm Nigerian. Yes. But it felt like I had to prove myself again when I got to Nigeria. I don't speak Pidgin. But I can speak Yoruba. Yeah. So I did my first show, Kenneth's Music. And I remember getting on stage. I had Kele Kele, it was big. And I got on stage, I was like, "Hi everyone, my name is Tiwa Savage." I was like, and they started stoning me with pure water.
Wow.
I literally, and I remember looking I was looking off stage, and Baba Keke was just like, just sing, don't talk. Who's asking you to talk? Just sing this song. It was hard. I felt like I was impersonating being Nigerian. Then I went back to my mom and I was like, I'm moving back to LA because they're not accepting me. And my mom was like, you are Nigerian. It's not your fault that you lived in the UK and you lived in America. You just have to use that to your advantage, and you just have to blend that into your music. So, that was very hard for me. Also, as a female,
Let's go.
At that time, it was hard. I would go to shows and I'll be backstage ready to perform, and they'll just say that the governor's wife said they don't want you on stage.
Wow.
What happened? And this is not a paid show. I'm doing this for free. They'll say her shots are too short.
Wow.
Yeah, or they'll call me and they'll say, the owner of the, bank wants to have a meeting with you first before the show. I don't understand why.
Okay.
Did they ask the other artists for this? So it was really hard. Or I'll hit up my team and I'll notice that they're not playing my videos. So we'll call the station and they'll say, "Oh, your video was banned because it was too sexy."
Wow.
I don't understand. So Love Me was banned. Wanted. Obviously.
Yeah, I remember Wanted.
Yeah,
we got the win here in the UK.
Yeah, that was banned. It was banned on radio and TV. I lost some endorsements as well. Yeah. So,
Talk to me about that side of the music business, coming from Nigeria, where there's a perception that you're supposed to be dressed a certain way or act a certain way to receive these endorsements, to get played on air, to receive those posters and banners or whatever?
Yeah, it's just kind of weird because we celebrate Western artists doing this, and it's like, when I do it, they'll say, "Oh, we're African, or we can't do this," and it's so ironic because just because I dress like that, that doesn't reflect my life. Like I have 2 degrees, like so,
Beauty and brain.
and I actually studied music at Berklee College of Music.
Absolutely.
I studied jazz.
Absolutely.
So it's a brand. And I just didn't understand how people would see me and think just because I dress like this, I must be an Ashao. Like, it's just...
for anybody that's not Nigerian.
Yes.
That would be someone being paid for services. But we'll get back to the music.
Yeah, so
during the Wanted, when the music video was released, I remember at the time, Twitter was the biggest social media platform. And I had gone on Twitter, and your statement here was exactly what I had said. I said, just a week before, I think it was Rihanna that dropped the video.
Yes.
That everybody in Nigeria had gone crazy about.
Yeah.
And now it's Tiwa Savage, more clothes than the Rihanna video that was out. And we don't want to accept that.
Yeah.
It was, for us in the UK, I think that was one of sometimes the little disconnects that we have with back home. But how did you manage to fight through those barriers?
I can't even take credit for me. It wasn't me. It was the fans. Like, literally, my female fans just kept growing and growing. My numbers, the less clothes, the more followers.
Are you sure it's not the guys?
No, I'm telling you, if you look at my stats, I have a lot more female fans, female followers. My fan pages are all run by females that are just like, feel like, oh my God, just keep going. And it was growing, and it like, I was, closing the gap between the top male artists.
Absolutely.
Like, I had the same number of followers. And when a promoter will post a show, they'll say, "Where's Tiwa Savage? Where's Tiwa Savage?" And then the promoter will be like, "Okay, hello, Tiwa.
How much are we paying?"
Yes, so they were the ones that just made the shift. They changed the narrative, and people were forced to start playing my music. They were forced to start putting me on shows because they needed somebody to represent females. And it just really started changing from there.
Apart from your individual, trip to Nigeria and the first stamp that you started making with Kele Kele, 323 Music, I think you partnered with Maven Records.
Yeah.
Shout out to the incredible Don Jazzy and the team.
Yes.
Once Upon a Time was the first project on that. You had Red on that. And then you had the third project, Sugarcane.
Sugarcane, yes.
With that, talk to me about deciding to go into business or partnership with Don Jazzy in Maven Records.
So it's funny, when I first moved to Nigeria, nobody wanted to touch me. I went to Storm Records, and they were like, no, we already have a female artist. I went to EME. Banky actually said no.
No way. Can we record that?
Yes, he
Send
knows.
it to Banky W, please.
He knows. I went to Mo Hits. They were like, no.
Wow.
I went to all the labels, and everybody said no. So then, at the time, TJ was just like, yo, we're just going to do it ourselves. So, we don't have money. So we're just going to do it. And then, so years later, when, Mo Hits broke up, I went back to Jazzy, and I was just like, have you changed your mind? And he was just like, yo, let's do this. And he signed me up to Maven. And it's more than a label. Like, it was family. I'm telling you, like, it was one of the hardest decisions I had to make when I had to break out of Maven. And when I was recording the Red album, I was pregnant. And I remember I'll be in the females. Whew. Shout out to all the females.
Shout out to all the queens in the building.
Oh my goodness. Like, because I was pregnant. I was in the studio throwing up, recording at the same time. I was always crying. I used to see, articles. Tiwa is done. Is she going to bounce back? How's she going to do it? And they would encourage me. Like, 2 a.m. in the morning, I would want noodles with baked beans.
Wow.
So random. And Jazzy or whoever would go upstairs and make it. And by the time he comes back, I'll be in the studio like... And they literally will wait for me to wake up and record. And we did that throughout my pregnancy. And, you know, I was nervous. We took a lot of the pictures while I was still a bit smaller, because obviously I was getting big. So when I say it's like family, they really, really, they were there for me, you know. And so, but for me, it was always like I went from being with, you know, Cecil, Flight Time, then I went to TJ, then I went to Maven. And I wanted to try things myself. And that was one of the reasons why I decided, you know, to sign with Universal.
Well, Universal, you've kind of fast forwarded a little bit.
No, we could go
but
back.
We'll talk about that. Going from Maven, like I said, you dropped 3 projects, hit single after hit single. 2018 was such a phenomenal year. You received an award, MTV Europe Award. Please, can you give a round of applause, please? An incredible feat. You sold out at the Indigo 2 in London. And then, I think after that was when you dropped like your last official single in 2018. Had you started the conversations with an international partnership with Universal at that time? Or what was going through your mind after those milestones, the MTV Award, the Indigo 2? Now, were you thinking about what next for Tiwa Savage?
Yeah, I felt like, you know, people wanted me to retire. And I'm like, yo, I look good.
Oh, you don't need to say that twice.
I honestly feel like they must have made a mistake on my birth certificate. Like I have to speak to my parents, because I feel like I'm 22 or 23.
I think you look so too.
Thank you. It's just, you know those cars that you redo, but the engine, yeah, 19. it just has a good body. But yeah, so I felt like every time I was like achieving something, they were still boxing me as, you know, best female, as opposed to just best artist in general. Like, and so I got to a point where I was just like, I need to do something. What else do I need to do? Like, I do 10 times more.
Yep.
Like, it was draining. December, I had a show every single day, you know, and I was just like, what do I have to do? So I spoke to my team. We had offers from, you know, labels, and I said, okay, maybe this is what I need to do. Maybe this is the next step, because, you know, the top male artists have international deals.
Partnerships, yeah.
And I had to leave Maven, and so I went off social media, deleted all my pictures.
That was like almost like 6 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, completely just... And that time, to be honest, I was very prayerful. I was into myself. I sat in my room. Oh, sorry. I sat in my room and I had a real conversation with God. I looked to him and I said, listen, you have to show me a sign if you still want me to do this.
Wow.
Like, I'm not listening to anybody else. This is between you and I. Like, I'm angry, God. Like, I feel like you need to show yourself. Like, you need to do something, like, so that when I walk into a room, they'll see your glory. This isn't even about me anymore. This is like deeper than this. And because I was weak spiritually, I was weak emotionally as well. Like, I was just like, so I needed a sign from him. So it took a while. It wasn't 1 week. I was like, wait, I'm going to delete my Instagram for about a week. I really didn't hear anything, or maybe I wasn't listening. 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I was like, hello, God.
What was the management? Shout out Vanessa and the team.
Yes.
What were they saying at that time?
I really don't know. I need to ask her. She was probably thinking, this girl is crazy. Because I wasn't really telling them, I wasn't really giving them much about what was good. You can't really explain it, because everybody from the outside is seeing you like, you know, you're wearing designer, you're traveling first class. People are, you know, you're selling out shows. So what is the problem? So they don't, you know, you can't explain to someone like, I'm going through it. But they stood by me and she said, look, take as much time as you want. Like I said, this is a career. You know, Adele took 3 years.
Absolutely.
Rihanna hasn't dropped anything in how many years?
Absolutely.
So she's just like, Tiwa, your brand is strong enough. So if you need time, if you need 6 months, take it out. But when you come back, you need to, you know, that line, Agbuto Tadi saying, Agbara Lolomua.
For non-Nigerians,
you know,
again, the goat that backs up
doesn't mean it's given up.
It's
just got to get more power to come stronger. So I needed that. And I needed that not just for me, but for people looking up to me. It's not just about music. It's about, you know, the 50-year-old who always wanted to be a designer. It's not too late. It's about the 16-year-old who wants to be, or the 30-year-old who wants to be a model. It's not too late. Or the 31-year-old who wants to be a footballer. It's not too late. I don't care what your industry says about that. And that's something we need to talk more about. If you're in your 40s and you're still fit, why can you not still play football?
Let's go.
If you're 36 and you look good, why can't you model? Why is your career over at 21 as a model? That's disgusting. And as a musician, if you can still sing, you can still write, why does it have to end? Why? So those are the things that I feel like, you know, God has called me to speak on, especially for African and African women. It's not too late until God says it's
absolutely.
And I need a time to build that confidence and come back.
Quickly, before I go into the next question, I just wanted to say, whilst you were talking there, I think I shared on my social media, the one that was deleted. Anyway, I shared on my social media before, there was a morning I was going to work, like 7 a.m., and I saw my 13-year-old daughter in the living room. And she just said, oh, can I get 5 minutes of your time? So I sat down and said, what's up? And she showed me a magazine that she had done for her assignment in school, which was all about Africa, problems, successes, you know, history of Africa. And the cover page had a queen in Tiwa Savage. Wow. For me, that was probably one of the proudest moments of my life, because here is a 13-year-old girl who claims to be the most Af in school, creating a magazine about Africa, talking about everything from problems to structure and whatever. But she selected, you know, one of her idols as the cover of that magazine. So that's the impact that you are making, the impact that, you know, you and your peers are making because of this incredible talent that you have.
And we are making that, because I remember when I moved here, it wasn't cool to be African. You know, I used to change my name from Tiwa to Topsy. And if they say, where are you from? I'll say I'm half Nigerian, half Jamaican.
Let's go!
You know, like, so it wasn't cool, but it's cool now because of all of us, not just music. Let me tell you something. Our music would not be growing this much if it wasn't for you guys. Because it's the Africans in the diaspora that's requesting this thing. Like, and you guys are connecting back to us. So we couldn't have done this without you guys. It would have just remained in Nigeria where they play 10% African music. So you guys are very instrumental in this revolution, because you guys are now like, I want to listen to African music in the club in London. Absolutely. I want to wear African designers. I want to watch Nollywood movies. I'm
not sure about that Nollywood, but
I have a lot of Nollywood friends. So you know, you guys started echoing that. Like, I'm African.
Absolutely.
And so it made it easier for us to you know, retain that identity. So everyone is very instrumental in this movement, and it's very important.
Thank you. Now, bringing us to why we are here.
Yes.
$49.99. Well, the simple question, which I asked, and you had the time, thanks for your patience, to break it down to me. Would you be kind enough to break that down to the audience here? $49.99.
$49.99. What does it mean? It's a coin it was a phrase that was coined by the godfather Afrobeat, Fela Kuti. 49 sitting, 99 standing. Suffering, smiling.
Absolutely.
For those who are not Nigerians, we have this transit bus which we call a molue, and it has 49 seats, right? So instead of you to have just 49 people sitting to commute to work and back, you have 49 people and you have double that standing, hanging. That just shows that's a reflection of the economy and how the imbalances where the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So the song, even though when you first listen to it, it's a great record. But it's the one that you can zanku to, you can dance to. But I wanted my first global single to also have a message that we are suffering and smiling.
Let's go.
And music is a powerful tool. And I wanted a title where, it'll be a conversation starter. What is 49.99? Which is like 49 people sitting, 99 people standing. Like we're suffering and smiling.
And quickly, the process of making the record, like, what was that like? We're gonna, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned earlier on that we will be the first group of people to watch this incredible video in the next couple of minutes. But talk to me briefly before we see it. What was the process of making the song in itself, and then the thought process behind the video?
Okay, so I was in my room and then I got a call from Phils, the producer, and Olamide.
Yes.
Geniuses. Yes, and an amazing artist. And he said, look, I don't know, we created something and I think you should come and listen to it. So I thought it was a song that he wanted me to feature. And when I got to the studio, I first heard the beat and it sounded like a spaceship had just... So I just said, wait, let me sit down. And then he started like spitting melodies and I was just like, dude, I can't sing this. He's like, nah, let's just finish writing it. So we were just bouncing off of each other, told me the concept and we're just writing. And literally, I don't think it
yourself
took
and
an hour. Yes, myself and Olamide. Like, they didn't even take up to an hour. The song was done. And it was time for me to record it. And the beat is so different from what I'm used to.
Talk to me about shooting that video.
Yeah.
What went into that?
Well, everything was Nigerian. Like myself and my team wanted the stylist,
Let's go.
Hair and makeup,
Let's
the
go.
director.
Let's go.
Everything, the DOP, the photographer, everybody was Nigerian.
Wow. So it was 100% African.
Yes, 100%.
Let's go.
The stylist made everything, handmade everything by himself. The hair, shout out to China, she's here. It took 2 days, 6 people to make, the hair.
Wow.
And it was a 25-hour shoot, straight, no breaks.
Wow.
And it was done in Lagos, Nigeria.
And who shot the video?
Meiji and Jimmy, JM Films. The overall creative direction came from Ibra Ake.
Wow.
He worked with Childish Gambino on This Is America.
Wow.
And he's Nigerian as well. So,
no way.
it was... And it was important to showcase different elements of the song.
Yes.
Like I said, like you have the schoolgirls. I wanted that nostalgic feeling of, the QC girls out uniform with the hair, and girls when they finish from school, people just think they'll be hairdressers and tailors, and females are more than that. They want to be pilots, they want to be doctors. So, and then also the table with the older men is supposed to represent the ministers or the senators.
Politicians.
Yeah, the politicians. Some of them, not all. Some of them are, distracted by other things, and instead of them to, do what they need to do, to focus and make Nigeria a better place. So we kind of played on that a little bit. So there's, deep meaning. He had the monkey on my shoulder that kept jumping off.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Like, the monkey, what's the deal with the monkey?
Monkey, no get skills. Igisumogi is like, it's a proverb, like, where you say, like, you see a monkey jumping from tree to tree, different trees, and you're like, oh, that's, amazing. They have, tricks, but they don't really...
That's his life.
Yeah, they're just jumping from the closest tree to the next tree, and they're not really doing anything spectacular. And so it's like telling you that when you are doing something or you're about to birth a huge destiny, you're going to have haters. But those haters are not doing anything in their life. they're not coming out of their comfort zone. So you can't look at what they're doing. The monkey no get skill.
Yeah.
They're only doing what's necessary.
Wow.
You are doing something that is going to
That's
change the
incredible.
world. Yeah, so you have to step out of your comfort zone. So that's what that.
A round of applause to that, please. I know we might take one or two questions. Is there a mic in the crowd? But I can take one in there if yeah. Okay. Your voice will carry.
Yes, sir.
Would you introduce yourself, sir?
My name is DJ Abbas. I'm a public servant.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
I heard of you for the first time in 2003 for when we had a show called Intro Crew, Shola and Wale. That was years ago.
Yes.
And they said at the point, you said louder. And they said at the time that obviously you were going to America to go and study music and
Yes.
that. And I look at your career, kind of like I'll break your career down to like 3 stages.
Yes.
And not many artists in Africa get to 3 stages. Now, as a 16, 20, 25-year-old diasporan who wanted to do music, wanted to do African music, or was living in the diaspora, you felt the need to go back home then.
Yes.
Now, if you were a 25-year-old today living in the UK, would you still feel that same need? Do you think the diaspora is strong enough right now for you to come out and still do Afrobeat music and not necessarily relocate to the motherland, be it Nigeria, Ghana, or anywhere?
Wow. It's
Egbo, 49.99.
Yes and no. I think it depends on you as an individual and how deeply rooted you are in your culture, because you can't be seen to not be authentic when you're doing Afrobeat. I think it's not easy for everybody to move back. Some people are married, some people have kids, some people just can't afford to move back. If you can, I would say it'll be very good for you. But if you can't, it's something that you have to. It's something you have to factor into your career. You have to visit Nigeria often. You cannot do Afrobeat or be an Afrobeat artist and not soak in the culture. Like it's important and it's changing. Like even as an artist, if I stay out of Nigeria too long, I get back and I hear there's one dance called Zanku like that. I'm like, you have to stay updated with what's going on back then, because that's the plug. You have to always stay connected to the plug in order for you to be truly and 100% authentic. Yeah.
Question?
Hi, Tiwa. My name is Sam. I'm a big fan since way back.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the last few weeks, in fact, maybe 3-4 weeks, a lot of bad press coming out of Nigeria.
Yes.
419, LA, Invictus, yada, yada, yada. So the country's got a lot of bad press recently. So what's your message to the young people? What's your message to young girls, especially at this time as well? And what's your message to our leaders? I think it's very important that people like you who have... So, that's my question.
Yeah. Oh, man, listen, we, as everybody, even to our leaders, we only have one Africa, right? One great thing that I noticed when I was living in America was the African Americans felt like they didn't have an escape. But us, worst case, if things don't work out, I'm going back to Nigeria. We have that. That's, the African Americans don't really feel like they have that. Even though they do, they don't feel like they have a home. But we have a home. What are we doing with it? And we only have that one continent. We only have that. And it's so rich in culture. And it's not just, I don't even think we really have to wait for the politicians or government. We can be a positive beacon wherever we are as Africans. We just have to make sure the good outweighs the bad. Every continent, every country has good and bad. It's not specific to Nigerians. It's not specific to Africans. It's just that I don't think that we are promoting the good stuff enough. And if we leave it for the outsiders, they're going to just say what they want to say, which is to paint us bad. So it is our job and we are enough in number. We are enough to change the narrative. Especially, you mentioned African women, African girls. Yeah, I think they're probably one of the strongest species. It's important, I feel, for us to balance our tradition as we're trying to be modern. I think it's also important to still retain some of those things that our mothers taught us, because that's really what differentiates us from every other slave mama out there. Yeah. No, Jules.
Miss Savage. Amazing video.
Thank
Incredible.
you. Thank you.
I'm sure everybody in this room is wondering, when is the album coming out?
As soon as we get in the studio now. I'm waiting on you. No, it's coming out. We're working on it. I'm recording. I want it to be out first quarter of next year. Because, as we all know, like, we're winding down. Nobody can release anything in December because, we're all going to Nigeria and Ghana to turn up this December. So I'm recording at the moment, and the album definitely is going to, come out first quarter, depending on how well this single does. If you guys stream it and tell all your friends to buy it. Yeah, so first quarter of 2020 album.
Thank you very much. We're just going to take just about two more. Sir, $49.99, sir.
Hi, Tiwa.
Hi.
Incredible video.
Thank you.
I like the connection with Fela.
Yes.
It's a huge inspiration in Africa and Nigeria as a whole.
Thank you.
My question is, you're a huge inspiration for females, Nigerians and Africans as well. Mm-hmm. In particular, his daughter. After you, who, and would you do a collaboration with them?
After me, who?
Yeah, female artists in Nigeria, Africa. Who do you feel is on that path?
Oh, man, there's many queens, man. Like, come on. Like, Yemi Alade just dropped an incredible body of work. Huge shout out to her. Like, who doesn't like Tenny? The entertainer. Like, she's incredible. Simi, Niniola, Waje, or Maomi. Even we have Vanessa MD, from the East. We have Becca Efia, who I've done records with as well. And even the females from the UK, like you have Tommy, LV, like there's so many. There's so many.
She's up to date.
Lorraine, we just need to fight because I don't know, you men, you're just bullying us. Stubborn. African men are stubborn.
we know that. Again, the reason why we're here is because of this lead single coming out. Signing a partnership with Universal.
Yes.
Almost this is like a massive launch of a next step into what Tiwa Savage is bringing out there. This record means a lot, not only to her, but like I said, to every single Afrobeats or Afro-pop personality that's here. The success of artists like yourself and singles like this completely opened the doors to other entertainers to get on your shoulder and get partnerships. And so it's important that we do share the message around. $49.99. $49.99.
That's not £50. That's what someone said in one of my responses. It's Tiwa's song about £50.
And apart from that, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the people here? Obviously, those that put the events together and everybody.
Yeah, huge shout out to YouTube for allowing Africans to come in this space. I promise we're not going
It looked like home once we walked in, trust me. We had jollof rice as well.
I don't know what that was. That was Ghanaian jollof rice.
Come on, Queen Tiwa. Talk that talk, Queen. Talk.
That was a Nigerian jollof.
That talk. Talk that talk, Queen. You know what I mean?
I love my Ghanaian. Yeah. I know, right? I wanna thank my team. Tiwa Savage, it sounds like, yeah, I'm an artist, but I'm just a face of a bigger team of people. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone through my tears at night, through my ups and downs, my management, stealth management. Thank you guys so much. Vanessa. It goes beyond, you know, a partnership with myself and Vanessa. She's a prayer warrior. And anyone and anything you need to do, you need a Vanessa in your team. Someone that not just works hard but prays for you, your career. Like, you know, you need someone like her. You need a China who's like, you know, my hairstylist, but she's also that my girl from New York who's like, oh, whoa, they said what on Twitter?
Let's go.
We're gonna walk in that club. We're gonna snatch some wigs. Everyone, I want to thank Universal for taking a chance on me. I'm not like a 12-year-old artist or a 16-year-old artist. They're taking a chance on me, and they for once haven't made me feel any less than what I am.
Wow.
Thank you, bro. We've had so many deep conversations about this movement. And to every single one, I want to thank my family, my mom, my brother. Thank you. They've been there from the beginning, from the beginning when it wasn't cool to be an artist. You know, from the beginning, I can't thank you enough. And every single one of you guys are here. I want the single to be successful. Yeah, I want you guys to stream it and tell your friends to tell their friends, and you know, make it a big single. But I really wanted to inspire you guys. I don't have two heads. If I can be this little girl from Surulere, and I can my journey can take me to LA to sign with Lucian Grange, I don't care where you are in life. That dream that you have, you owe it to yourself, because the day you meet your maker, you have to explain what you did with your life on this earth. So please, it is not too early or too late. Just use me as an example. Trust me, I'm not the perfect person. If I can do this, I don't care. I don't care about your financial background, your family, your religion, whatever it is. If I can do this, please, you owe it to the world to do what you were called to do. So,
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in. A massive round of applause once again to our queen, Tiwa Savage! Boy, 49.99, just in case you didn't get the name of the single. Yeah, no. You've seen the video already. You're going to see it in 48 hours' time. Africans must learn to wait.
Please go and watch it on YouTube so we can break the record. Yes.
Please. So, Mercedes, if you'll be kind enough to just drop some music for us to mingle.
Yes.
Let us just mingle
before
together.
they kick us out.
Exactly.